aeroplane full of passengers plunged 100 meters to the bottom of the sea, but not a drop of water seeped into the cabin, and the people inside were lucky to be unharmed. While they were happy, they didn't know that the plane was hundreds of meters deep. Once the oxygen in the cabin is depleted, there was no way that anyone could have survived. But what's worse, due to the distance from the ground, communication equipment cannot reach the signal. Airport control doesn't even know that the plane has crashed. They'll have to stay in the tiny cabin and wait for death. But just then, someone noticed seawater seeping through the glass. By now, the situation had reached a critical stage. They knew they couldn't just sit back and wait. The captain of the plane came up with a foolproof plan. He had to get the signal receiver to the surface himself, but at a depth of 100 meters. Even a schoolboy knows the pressure is terrible. Without the protection of the aircraft shell, I'm afraid that his internal organs will suffer unbearable torture. But this is the only way to save the passengers, with a chance of survival. The captain of the plane immediately took action, knowing that a second later now, dozens of people together is more than a minute. The captain and his assistant quickly put on their life jackets. At this time, the receiver also immediately closed the steel door connecting the cabin. They were completely sealed off inside the cabin. But although the plan sounds simple, but it's a lot harder to carry out. When the captain of the plane pressed the button to open the door, he ignored the pressure. In just a moment, the sea filled the cabin. Then he swam to the hatch without stopping. He opened the signal receiver's backpack. The yellow valve expanded instantly, sending it to the surface. The captain of the plane was in a crisis. He had no choice but to swim as hard as he could. Luckily, he managed to escape when he was about to suffocate. Then he quickly climbed onto the hovercraft. Exhausted, he could only lie down and wait for help. At that moment, a warship on maneuvers accidentally received this unfamiliar distress signal, so it immediately dispatched a good man on a boat to rescue him. The captain of the plane was soon rescued.